In this section, we're going to look at solving single variable linear equations again, but this time with grouping symbols. So you'll see an equation that you have to solve that is a little bit more complex. So anytime we have a multiplication, like 3 is multiplying this parentheses right here, and there's an addition or subtraction on the inside of the parentheses, you can use the distributive property. So 3 times m plus 2 is 3 times m plus 3 times 2. I'm going to draw that vertical line again for the equals sign so that we keep in mind the sides of the equations. And then on the right side, we're going to also use the distributive property here. 7 times m is 7m, and 7 times 1 is 7. Now we're going to combine some like terms. There's no like terms to combine on the left side, so we'll leave that alone. On the right side, 1m plus 7m is 8m. Now let's take care of our variable terms first. Let's subtract 3m from both sides. And by the way, you can subtract 8m from both sides if you wish as well. I like to keep things positive, so I like to take my bigger number and subtract my smaller number. All right, on the left side of the equal sign, we have a 6 left. On the right side, 8m minus 3m is 5m minus 7. Now let's take care of our numerical values. We want to isolate the m, so we want to undo that minus 7 on both sides by adding 7. 6 and 7 add up to 13, so 13 equals 5m. Now we're going to divide both sides by 5. That'll cancel our multiplication and division, and we get m is equal to 13/5. Remember, you can leave that in improper fraction form. All right, let's take a look at b. In b, we have, again, some parentheses, and you may want to draw that vertical line so you remember where the equal sign is. So on our left side, we have a multiplication of 4 times the contents of that parentheses. So 4 times u is 4u, and 4 times 1 is 4, equal sign. 7 times u is 7u, minus 7 times 3 is 21, and I'm bring down that minus u that follows the parentheses. Now we have to add some like terms. On the left side of the equal sign, 2u and 4u add up to 6u, so we have 6u minus 4 equals. And then on the right side, we have a 7u minus a 1u is 6u, so 6u minus 21. Now we want to move our variable terms next, so if we want to move a 6u from one side to the other, we can subtract 6u from both sides. On the left side, we have negative 4, and on the right side, we have negative 21. There are no variables left in this equation, so we just have to answer the question, is this a true statement always, or is it never true? And negative 4 is never equal to 21, so this is a negative 21. So this is a never true statement. If I can write the words never true. And so what does that mean? We're trying to find the solution to this equation. There must be no solution because negative 4 will never be equal to negative 21. All right, let's check out C. In C, we have to be a little bit more careful because we have a negative to distribute into that first parentheses. I'm going to again draw that line down the middle for the equal sign. And so negative 2 times 3w is negative 6w, and be especially careful here. Negative 2 times negative 5 is positive 10. On the right side, 2 times w minus 2 times 7 is 14. Bring down that minus 5w. Now we have some like terms to combine on the left side, on the right side of the equation. That's 2w and negative 5w. 2w minus 5w is negative 3w minus 14. The left side we can just bring down as is. Now if you want to, we can add 6w to both sides of the equation. And that'll leave us with a 10 on the left side of the equation, 3w minus 14 on the right. And then we can add 14 to both sides of the equal sign. That gives us 24 equals 3 times w. Divide both sides by 3. And that'll give us w is equal to 24 divided by 3, which is 8. And one last example for this section. Again, we don't actually have a number sitting here in front of the parentheses on the left side of the equation. Let me draw our line for that, dividing the equal sign on the left and the right. But you can think of that as a minus 1 times k minus 11. So we have 4k, and a negative 1 times k is negative k, so plus a negative k or minus k. And then when you distribute to the second term, we have a negative times a negative. That's going to be positive 11. Equals, on the right side, distribute 2 times k and 2 times 4. And now let's combine some like terms together. So we have 4k minus k is 3k plus 11 on the left side of the equal sign. And on the right side, we have 2k plus 11. Let's move our variable term first. So we can subtract 2k off from both sides. You can subtract 3k off from both sides if you want to, but I like to subtract 2k because 3k minus 2k is just k, and k is what we want to isolate. And now we can subtract 11 from both sides, and we get k is equal to 0. All right, that's it for this section.